also curious though, because she's a reporter and now she knows this inside information, how that's going to mess with the job.
Yeah, there's a huge conflict of interest, right? There's a moral integrity to her job, and then there's the loyalty to Barry and her family. We haven't really explored that yet, to be honest, but I'm imagining Iris will forever be loyal to the Flash.
Yeah, and she's sort of the stability of the group. So how is that going to switch with Wally?
What?
Mama West?
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say about either of those. Wally is coming. Keenan Lonsdale, who's been cast to play him, is a great Australian actor. We're really excited to have him. He's not there yet, so we don't know much about what kind of role Wally will take in season 2, but I'm sure it'll be good. We'll end up having 3 Flashes on one season, which is really amazing if you think about it. Jay, Barry Allen, and Wally West. And then as far as Mama West, yeah, she's coming. There's gonna be a lot of West family storyline happening in season 2.
You know, one of the things that I really like about both Arrow and The Flash are your strong female characters. What do you think it is about those 2 shows that they do it so well?
I don't know. Andrew Kreisberg, Greg Berlanti, Jeff Johns, our executive producers, they're really good at writing interesting female characters. And I hope to see more of them. We've added a few female guest stars this season, and I love having girls around. The more, the merrier. It's kind of a boys' club on our set. I don't know if you know that. The other day I was on set, and just Grant and Carlos and Jesse were just being boys, and I was just like, more girls, please, just more girls. I mean, they're so silly. But yeah, having great female characters and great actors playing them we need more of it on TV, to be honest. Just not just the superhero genre, in every genre.
High five.
Yeah.
What are the guys like backstage when they're being boys?
They're silly, 24 hours a day. They're silly, they're making jokes, and Grant's usually picking on me. I don't know, it's fun to be around. It's never a dull moment, I'll say that.
You guys have a lot of villains, so I'm curious, who's your favorite villain?
Ooh, there's nothing better than Heatwave and Captain Cold for me. Yeah. I don't know, that dynamic is just so badass. And yeah, they do it so well. They do it so well. So I'm really excited to see them on Legends. I think they'll definitely be fan favorites over there.
So I know that you can't say a lot about season 2, but is there anything you want to tease in terms of romance?
Oh,
you hear the from the audience?
Anything I can tease? I don't know if there's much to tease. We all know that Barry has a new romantic love interest this season, Patty Spivot. So I think, we'll be dealing with that a little bit for season 2. Iris, lost her boyfriend, fiance. And so, there's gonna have to be a grieving time for that. But I'm hoping that won't last too long. I hope she gets a really hot boyfriend.
Yes.
I think they liked that.
Yeah. She needs a little love in her life,
Of course she does.
From Barry, yes. Yes, from Barry.
I feel like the audience is kind of loud right now, so shall we jump to an audience question? Let's start right over here. Hi.
If I was hit by one of the waves from the particle accelerator, what power would I have as Iris West? I don't know, I was thinking about this at the last convention I was doing, and I think just because my character's name is Iris, it would be interesting to have some sort of superpower that deals with my eyes. So maybe some lasers.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, now who would you shoot with the laser eyes?
In my personal life or on the show?
Let's go with on the show.
I don't know. I don't know that Iris really has any enemies right now. Reverse Flash for season 2 for sure. Yeah.
All right, let's jump right over here.
All right, you guys are doing some really cool stuff on the show. I mean, alternate realities, mysticism I know is coming on Arrow, but there's just something I gotta know. How do you deal with acting around all those special effects?
There's a learning curve. There's no acting class for working with green screen and special effects and visual effects. I didn't learn how to do that. I went to the school of the Flash. And when you watch yourself on TV and you see how you're pretending to be afraid of a tsunami, you're like, yeah, I could have done that better. Do that better next time. You just make believe, and I don't know. You just pretend. I don't know. There's no logical answer. You just look like an idiot in front of everyone on your cast, and you just accept it, and you get used to it.
Well, that's not what we see on TV, so.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. And Grant is so good at it. I think because he does it the most, he's the best at just looking in the sky and seeing the singularity and being terrified. Yeah.
Was there one that was particularly hard for you?
Probably the tsunami. Just because we were on location and it was freezing cold that episode where Barry and I kiss and I find out he's the Flash. It was just so cold. I had maybe 3 jackets on, and it was really hard to focus. And then imagine that there's a tsunami, and then they turn on a big wind turbine. Yeah. So it's January, I'm freezing in Vancouver, and then they're like, and turn on the blower! And so you do that for 6 hours. Yeah. So maybe that one was the hardest.
I'm actually curious what you guys do to relax on set.
We play a lot of card games. And we're cast holding, what we call it. We usually have a table in the center of our chairs, and we play card games. For us, we really love stupid videos on the internet. So we just share videos. I don't know.
That's just you. No one else looks at this.
Yeah, I color. I have a coloring book.
Aww.
Yeah.
Right over here.
The gift of that kiss is the best gift ever.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Now that Iris knows how she feels about Barry, would she still pick Eddie?
Would she still pick Eddie? You mean if the timeline had stayed and she was aware of her feelings for Barry, would she still pick Eddie? Oh, that's a really tough question.
That's why I asked.
It's so hard because I love Rick Cosnett. I love him. I'm so sad that he's gone. But I think given the history of the comic books and what we know about Iris and Barry, I just think what makes them so special is they're iconic and they have a love that kind of has always stood the test of time. And so I guess for me, I would say Barry. Yeah.
What's Alan?
Yeah, we did see that byline.
Yeah. Iris West Allen. What year was that again? I don't even know.
2024.
Wow. So I guess we have a while, guys.
Right over here.
So I had a question about headcanons. Like, a lot of fans come up with their own ideas of what characters are like, you know, their backstories. And I was wondering, when you and Grant were talking about Barry and Iris growing up, what kind of headcanons did you guys come up with?
I don't know. I don't know that we discussed it that in depth. You know, all of it was pretty much in the scripts. And Grant and I found a lot of it on set. The little fist bump, we would do fist bumps. You know, we just kind of imagined, you know, who Grant and I are naturally as people. You know, we're very silly and we both love hip hop. You know, I think it's interesting to see 2 young people who, you know, one's white and one's black, but they probably grew up in this household listening to jazz and listening to hip hop. And I don't know, we kind of imagined it from there. You know, Grant loves sports, he loves basketball. We, you know, Iris and Barry grew up boxing. So that kind of stuff kind of informs who Iris and Barry are.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And right over here.
Oh, all right. So season 1 had a lot of Barry's perspective. Obviously, it's the Flash.
Yes.
And also especially regarding your relationship with him.
Yes.
But now I've heard that season 2 will be the season of the Wests. So are we going to get more of Iris's voice and Iris's point of view now that she knows things and she can sort of voice her opinion on them?
Yeah, I hope so. It will definitely, there will be more, the family aspect of the show will definitely be headed by the Wests, which is really great. We'll just get more backstory on Iris and her mother and, you know, Wally West. But as far as my role in season 2, I'm not too sure if it will be, you know, I don't know. I don't know yet. We're only on episode 8, so yeah.
Is there
specific episode that we should be looking out for extra Iris?
Extra Iris.
Yes.
You know, we shoot them and then I forget about them. But Jeff Johns texted me the other day and he said, you know, I just watched 203. You are amazing. So I don't know what happens in that episode, but I got his stamp of approval. So, you know, when Jeff Johns says 203, you just you take it and you run with it. So 203, episode 3. Yeah. Right over here.
What would you say would be the most enjoyable part of being in a show like this?
The fans. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. You know, it's amazing to travel all over the world, outreach. You know, I try to answer every piece of mail that comes to my trailer. And when you open it up and it's from a young girl in Germany or the Netherlands, I've never been to these places. And the fact that someone from Germany knows my name and is inspired by Iris West, that's a huge reach that I have and the show has, and that's amazing. It's amazing. It's a lot of power, and now I have to decide what to do with that. You know, use it for some sort of good.
Now, I wanted to ask you about Iris's relationship with her dad now that she knows that he's been keeping something from her.
Yeah. Well, you know, we explored that in season 1, and they have moved past it. You know, Iris has forgiven her dad, she's forgiven Barry. I think at the end of the day, what you can always expect from Barry and Joe and Iris is that they're family, and no matter what rough patches they go through, they will always, you know, love each other, and they'll always move beyond it. So yeah. Right over there?
I was curious, what are your thoughts about DC splitting the television universe and the cinematic universe?
You mean the separation between the two?
Yes.
I don't know that I have a very staunch opinion about it. That's kind of out of my pay grade. You know, I'm sure that they have a reason for that. I think both work. You know, DC TV is huge right now. It's huge right now. And I think DC films are doing great too. They're very different, and I think there's room for both, I'd say. Right over here? Yeah.
Hi, Candice.
Hi.
I was recently at another con, and you were there.
At where?
I was recently at another con
Another con, okay.
earlier this month, and you were there, but unfortunately the panel that I attended, Robbie and John were there. No, Robbie and, yeah. But you were not in that panel. They were talking about Tom and playing around with a wheelchair in between scenes, how crazy fast it goes. Has anybody else tried it? Because I use one and I know how crazy fast they are, and I'd love to kick it up.
You do?
Oh yeah. So have you tried it?
I have not tried it. I'm afraid of touching any props that don't belong to me because I feel like, you know, you break it, you bought it. So things I stay away from, the Flash costume. It's worth a lot of money. And stuff like the wheelchair, things that I could break and have to buy. No way am I getting in that. But I would love to. It's very cushioned. Like, it looks like a plush, nice chair. But yes, it's in use still, and it goes very fast. It goes very fast. It's pretty dangerous, yeah. And yeah, Tom took a lot of liberties with that wheelchair. There's still a dent on the set of Star Labs from last season where he just like ran it into the wall for whatever reason. It happens, yeah. Right over here?
Yes, I don't know how much you know about the comics, but there's a story in which Iris gets the same powers as Barry's. If that was to happen on the show, how do you think it would change Iris and Barry's relationship?
If she got the same powers? Does that really happen?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. I knew she got a speed suit.
Because she has force sensitivity, or speed force sensitivity.
Yes, okay, yes. Got it. I don't know if that's
Speed
gonna
force
happen on the show. I personally would love to see that happen. You know, Iris with superpowers, I can't even imagine how badass that would be and how badass she would be. Also, I look really good in leather. Did I answer your question? I don't know if I did.
How
how it would change the relationship between Barry and Iris. I can only imagine that it would strengthen the relationship because they have something in common. And you know, Iris, in her own way, tries to fight crime and fight the evil that's happening in Central City, and having superpowers and having the same superpowers as Barry would only bond them together. I think they should travel through time together.
Ah. Right over here.
This is kind of random, but could you follow me on Twitter? I would appreciate it. I'm trying to talk to you, but you don't respond.
I'm so sorry. People are always like, why don't you respond to me on Twitter? I try to stay out of my mentions as much as possible, and I don't pay attention to Twitter handles as much. I usually respond to things that speak to me. What have you been saying?
Dirty. Just get, because I know you're a Cowboys fan like myself, so I try to chat about football and stuff.
Yeah. You like football, yeah.
Cowboys!
Are you a Cowboys fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. What's your Twitter name again?
Boone_07.
Okay. You know, it's so funny. I thought about bringing my phone out here, and I was like, that's inappropriate. Don't do that. If I had my phone, I would follow you right now. But Booth_.
Yep. A Boone. B-O-O-N-E.
Well, I want to follow now too.
I know. Everyone follow Boone_. What was it?
07.
07. Boone_07. Nice to meet you. Right over here. Hi.
Hello. First off, huge fan, best character on the Flash show. Are we going to see any more DC like crossovers with superheroes like we did with the Arrow and Flash? And is there any way I could have a selfie with you? That'd be totally different.
Yeah. Oh God, I always get afraid of what I can and can't say. Yes, there will be more crossovers this season. I'm really excited about that. So you will see some of your favorites on the show. I think those episodes are always some of the best rated. It's always interesting to see, you know, people from a different universe crossover. So yes, you will see some more of that for sure. Yeah, come up for your selfie.
Yeah, right? Be prepared. We can take it for you. It's a Yui.
Find the light.
Find the light.
Next question. Is every question going to be a selfie question?
No selfies.
I hate selfies. I know I take a lot of them on Instagram, but I actually hate them. You need a lot of time and preparation is what is, right?
You always look good though.
Well,
yes.
thank you.
We actually are sad that you don't take enough.
Oh, so I will try to take more selfies.
Hi. Okay, so the time stream on the show changes so often. Like, is it hard to keep straight? This person's dead, except they're actually not. Or this event happened, but no, it's no longer a thing. Like, is that hard to keep straight in your head, like what happened?
No, not really. There's only been maybe one or two timeline shifts or time travel moments, I believe, right? Episode 15, Barry changed the timeline, and then towards the end, I think the season finale, Barry went back to save his mother and thought better of that. I hope you guys have seen season 1.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. So it's not that difficult yet. I'm imagining it's going to get increasingly more difficult, especially with seasons to come, especially with multiple flashes on the show. God only knows how many timelines and multiverses we will find ourselves in. I hope you guys can keep up as well. It could get really, really complex. I'll just say that. It's already feeling a bit complex season 2.
That's what the wiki's for.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Right over here.
Yeah, one of my favorite things in the world to do is to share this show, the experience of the show with my son. And what he really wants to know is, what is Tom Cavanaugh's role going to be in season 2 now that Dr. Wells is gone? Oh, and thank you, by the way. Thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah. Why do you ask me these questions? First of all, I think it's really cool that you watch this show with your son. I think the best thing about our show is that it kind of crosses all demographics, nationalities, races, creeds, colors, age. And the best thing I hear is that families get to sit down every Tuesday night and watch it. Yeah, it's amazing. There's not a lot of that on TV right now, so it's really great.
Almost as good as the dinner table.
Sorry?
Almost as good as the dinner table.
I said it's almost as good as the dinner table.
As far as Tom's role in season 2, I don't know what I can say about that without really getting into some trouble. He's not gone. Tom, the actor, is not gone. You will definitely see him. You know, with timelines and multiverses, which we're introducing, anything is possible with any character. So I'll just say that. Right over here.
Very vague. It's above the bigger. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
On social media, whenever Flash was introduced on television, and it was announced that you're going to be playing Iris, and then most recently you have the new kid who's going to be Kid Flash. There was some discussion that some of the old-time comic readers, like me, has been talking about diversification of characters for the sake of being diverse. How do you, as an actor, address that? So that way, whenever a die-hard comic book person says, that character can't be black, that character can't be gay, that character can't be Asian, because they're always white in the comic.
How do I address it? I don't. I mean, I don't address it because those people don't have the power to make those decisions, and thankfully so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, our comics, all of our stories would look the same for generations and generations, and I find that terribly boring. Terribly boring. So thankfully, the people that are in charge, you have Jeff Johns, who knows what he's doing. You know, he's created a lot of great comics that people enjoy. And so when someone like that gives me their stamp of approval, it's not for the sake of diversity. It's for the sake of, he knows that Iris West will be done justice. For, you know, and same thing when he's casting Wally West. It's not for the sake of being diverse. It's for the sake of creating a great television show. It's important for comic book generations to come, kids to see themselves in storylines. It's really important. I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say that, you know, they see themselves on TV for the first time as a leading lady, as a heroine, as an ingenue, as the beautiful woman. That doesn't happen often. It's important that young black girls, young Asian girls, young Indian girls, and boys get to see themselves on TV as not just stereotypes. So it's extraordinarily important. And to the comic book fans who don't want to see that happen, I hate to be flippant, but too bad. You know. There's only going to be more of it. There's only going to be more of it.
Thank you for being on us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Right here?
Earlier you were talking about the multiverse, and inside the Flash movie would be coming to theaters. If that has the multiverse in it, do you think the TV show could be one of the multiverses to cross over to the movie?
That's a really interesting concept. I don't know. I don't know anything about the Flash movie. It's not even a part of our world, to be honest. So I don't know, but I think that's a really interesting concept. I think what's interesting and why we get these questions a lot is because Grant Gustin is so beloved as the Flash, right? And in a lot of people's minds, that's all they can see as the Flash. So it would be cool to see him in some version in the film, but I have no idea if that will happen.
Oh,
thank you. Over here.
Candice, you can follow me at Suntan Superman. It's very nice. I don't think anyone else has that handle. So you can find that, and it's great, at Suntan Superman. How much creative control, or do you have any creative control of your character on The Flash?
You mean in terms of storyline?
Yeah, like you might suggest, like, hey, maybe we should do this, or maybe we should do this with her, or something like that.
Not much.
Not much?
Not much, to be honest. You know, everything that's written is written by writers and executive producers, and I read and try my best with everything that's given to me. I don't have say over, you know, where my character is headed or what she says or how she says it. If something is truly bothering me and I feel like it's not true to who Iris is, which I haven't encountered that really, I do have the license to call, you know, the producers and say I'm a little worried about this, but you know, I try and stay out of that for a lot of it. You know, that's not what I'm paid to do. I didn't get paid to be a writer, you know. So I leave that to the people whose jobs it is. I think they're doing good so far, and we're hoping to have seasons to come on the show. So there'll be lots of versions of Iris that you'll see, hopefully.
I can go say thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right over here.
First, I just want to say go Cowboys.
Yeah, go Cowboys. Although Romo and Dez.
We'll be fine. You talked earlier about crossovers. I know they're different networks, but I think same production team. What do you think of the possible crossover with Supergirl?
That's interesting. I feel like Greg Berlanti has spoken on this. I think it would be awesome. I'm really excited about Supergirl. I think it's going to be one of the new hit shows this fall. I think that's kind of up to the network, not so much the creative heads. You know, I'm sure Greg Berlanti would be for it, but you know, there's a lot of politics behind the scenes between networks and how all that stuff works. So I don't know if we'll ever get to see that, but it would be cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Over here.
Okay, first of all, go Eagles, not Cowboys.
And next
So I polled comicbook.com's Twitter followers to see what they wanted to know, and a follower named The True Alpha wants to know if you filmed with Mama West yet.
True Alpha. I have filmed with Mama West.
Okay.
Her handle's actually Iris West Best.
Okay, Iris West Best.
None of that's out there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right here.
I'm curious if from season 1, there's an episode you look back on and think that it's your favorite, or when you saw it, you thought, wow, that was an awesome episode.
Yeah, that's a great question, and one I haven't really gotten, so thank you for that. I don't, to be honest, if I'm being very honest, I don't watch the show. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but I haven't watched them all. Only because what we shoot and what ends up on screen can often be very different with editing and stuff that gets cut. So I, as an actor, try and live for the moment on set, and that's how I remember it and enjoy it. And everything else is kind of out of my control, and that's what you guys get to take home and enjoy. But for me, when I think about the episodes I enjoy the most, even just sometimes when fans will send me still shots of episodes, I don't know, the pilot always gets to me. I look so different, and I'm like a little baby. Grant looks like a little baby, and we're all so young and optimistic. I know this was like a year ago, but it's just, for me, something about that evokes emotion for me, because it was my first series regular role, and to see what it's become since the pilot is really amazing. And also episode 15.
Yes.
Okay.
Over here.
Hi, I was, you do a really great job on the show, by the way.
Thank you.
I was wondering, like, what scene proved to be, like, the most difficult for you to shoot, like, emotionally, or just, like, what scene proved to have, like, the most technical difficulties?
The most difficult to shoot. That's a good question. There haven't been too many. I would say, again, episode 15, that kiss, was really difficult just because of the environment. It was so frigid cold, and you're trying to act like you're in love and kiss, but your face is frozen, and you're just hoping to God that it's paying off. That was pretty difficult, and the emotion behind it. You know, it's hard to be emotional when you're freezing to death. That was probably one of the most difficult scenes for me to shoot. And then maybe the flashback to the hospital scene with Barry. That was, I wouldn't say difficult, but it, you know, a lot of time had passed, and having to go back and remember what it was like for Barry to be in a coma and relive some of those emotions from the pilot was challenging, not difficult, but, you know, a nice challenge. Yeah.
Right over here.
Do you think you're going to appear on Arrow or Legends of Tomorrow in the future?
That I don't know. I can tell you as of now, no. There's no plans for me to cross over. I know. But you never say never. It's possible, but no. Like, you won't be seeing Iris there anytime soon.
So rude.
Right over here.
Hi. First of all, I love you. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And okay, so Linda Park, she is coming back for season 2, I think.
Yes.
And so also Wally West is as well. And in the comics, they do technically get married. So how is that going to work out?
I don't know. I don't know the details of that and their relationship on our show. As of now, that hasn't been addressed. So, but yes,
but he's not there yet.
Parks, played by Melise Zhao, is coming back. I love her. She's amazing. And I think it's nice for Iris to have a friend in Picture News. Yes. And she's also a tough chick, so it's a cool dynamic between Iris and Melise. Yeah. What's her name?
Linda. How far ahead do you get the scripts?
It depends. It really depends. Usually I would say maybe a week and a half before, 2 weeks, sometimes, but they're constantly going through revisions, so it's always changing, and it can get really, sometimes we cut it really close. Yeah, sometimes you can cut it really close, but usually, you know, we've got maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah.
So you really don't know what's coming.
No, I mean, we get broad storylines from Andrew.
It's only 103. So
I've kind of chosen to take a back seat on that. I don't really like to know, because I'm either really excited and I can't contain myself, or I'm kind of disappointed. So I kind of enjoy it as it comes.
Right over here.
So this time, Iris West, H reporter, wants to know if Iris is going to be doing more field reporting and investigative work. Is that you?
No, it's not me.
Yeah, so far, you know, we're just starting episode 8. There's a little bit of that. There's not a lot, to be honest. I'm hoping for more in the back end of this season, but yeah, I would assume that that's the direction the character is moving. I definitely want to see her more in Picture News, doing field reporting and kind of helping Team Flash in that way.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Are you going to have more stunts this season? Yeah, there's a few of them, for sure. There's a big stunt happening in episode 3, I think, already.
Oh, that's the one that Jeff Johns likes.
That's the one that Jeff Johns likes, I think. So, yeah.
Do you like doing them?
I love it. I love it. We have an incredible stunts team on our show, and anytime I can work with them is really, really fun. And I always tell them, you know, the more the merrier, just give me everything. And by that I mean give it to my stunt double and make me look good. But yeah, no, I really enjoy that stuff. Yeah.
Right over here.
Thank you. I'm a big fan of Iris, but no one has addressed this yet, so I'm wondering, can you tell us anything about how Snow turns into Killer Frost?
I know nothing about that. Nothing. I don't even think Danielle knows. I don't even know if Andrew knows yet how that's gonna come to fruition. I know that's a big topic of conversation. We know that, you know, Caitlin Snow becomes Killer Frost, but we have not delved into that yet. So, thank you. You'll have to keep waiting, I'm sorry.
Right over here.
Yes, so I found a Twitter question for you from Blue Iris B26. She just wants to know if we're going to see any more of that Speed Force Spark connection that happened with Barry and Iris in 120. Is there anything else like that, or other conversations about the Speed Force?
No. Not that I know of, not yet, no.
And you don't know anything about why it happened?
Why? What happens?
Why the spark happened? Just because he's full of electricity and he loves you?
Yes, because we just have an electric connection there. No, as of now, there is no explanation for that. Yeah.
So how deep into the comics have you actually read?
I definitely read the comics, but I'm in no way a comic book nerd. I'm not like the person to go to about everything about Iris West or The Flash. I enjoy it more as, recreational entertainment. I keep it around my house just for fun. We keep them, my makeup artist keeps some of the Flash comics on her table just so when I'm getting my makeup done I can read through and enjoy them that way. But I have no desire to become like the person who knows everything about The Flash. But I enjoy it a lot, actually.
You just tell people you know everything, but you're not revealing anything.
Yeah, I know everything.
You can totally use that.
Yeah, like someone today was like, oh, Iris gets the same powers as Barry. I didn't know. I just thought she got a cool suit and could travel through the Speed Force with him. And I like that the fans know so much about her and they can educate me.
Right over here.
So season 1, we saw a lot of Joe and Barry bonding time, and so I'm wondering season 2, could we possibly get like Iris and Henry like bonding time? Will she help him, maybe get out of jail, use her investigative reporting skills to do that?
There is some Iris and Henry bonding time.
Yay!
That will happen, which is great. We love John Wesley Shipp, and having him on our set is just a joy. So yes, there will be some of that. I can tell you that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think we have time for 2 more questions. I see right over there.
This isn't a question, it's more of a suggestion you could pass along to the production crew. When you're shooting scenes in the Jitters coffee shop, if people have little paper cups of coffee, if they're handing them back and forth, or just drinking out, you can tell they're empty.
You can tell they're empty.
Yes. Tell them, like, yeah.
Okay, great. I will let the background actors know that the next time. What's your name? David. I'll let them know that David wants them to know that. It's so funny because one of the episodes, really early on in season 1, I think Iris is going through the precinct with like a tray of coffee for Barry, Joe, and herself. And when I watch it, I was so nervous, right? Like still so new, and I had all of these lines, and Iris is talking really fast because she talks really fast when she's really excited. And she's talking like this, and I've got all these lines, and I'm walking and talking, and I have to hit this mark and hit that mark and hit it perfectly and get this light. And I was so nervous, and so when you watch it, I'm just shaking the coffee back and forth, like this is Potts and Beauty and the Beast, and it looks so fake, and obviously there's nothing in the coffee. There's paper in the coffee. And that's one of those things you look back on and you're like super embarrassed as an actor. So when I hold coffee now, I make sure there's coffee in it. I'll make sure everyone else does that. Yeah.
Okay, last question right over here.
Do we know how old Wally's going to be in the show? Like, is it going to be in high school or college?
I don't know. I don't know is like a really great answer to stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming. Don't forget, Candice will be doing photo ops at 4:55 today. So let's have a huge round of applause.